How do you sort out the so-called jargon from real-world practices that work? Do the members of your organization find some business or technology advice utterly confusing? Welcome to Real Talk with Sam Holcman. In this program, we set the record straight, and in terms that business people and technology people can understand. Now, here is your host, Sam Holcman.
Welcome to this edition of Real Talk. I'm Sam Holcman. Thanks for joining me. And the topic for this particular broadcast is today's artificial intelligence, today's AI, is just guessing. A pretty controversial topic or real topic in your particular world? Let's remember that artificial intelligence, computer systems, all of these things have two components. When I started my career in this area, we were called data processing. You know what we were doing? Processing data. You know what we're doing now with AI? Processing data. So let's get this clear. This is nothing new. And the expenditures of the billions of dollars today, which comes on the heels of spending billions of dollars over the last 30, 40, 50 years, have been mainly on the technology infrastructure side, if I can use the phrase, the processing engine. And the data engine has left to languish as far as dollars go, because frankly, it's harder. It's harder. And so even now we see organizations spending money on what they refer to as data infrastructures, which again consists of the technology and the data. The issue is the data, not the technology, whether it's in the cloud, whether it's not in the cloud, whether it's on-prem or off-prem. That doesn't matter if the data itself is flawed. And what we also have to understand is all of these large language models, as I call them fool's gold, is based on generic data that is either on the internet or is stolen copyrighted data, as I like to say. Sorry for that, for being that harsh, but it is something that is very concerning to me and others. Copyrighted data used without information being actually approved for use by these AI engines. But let's come back to, once again, the data. What people want is specific to a business or business area. And none of that, please remember, none of that is going to be on the internet. No one would be foolish enough to put their best practices on the internet for everyone else to use. So why would we think other organizations would do the same thing? So what organizations are looking for is data specific to the individual or area of interest to their business. That's what gives them unique business insights. However, please remember, that's probably proprietary. So, AI tools today, sorry folks, can only answer generic questions. But it's not hard. Putting together a data architecture, beginning with data strategy, all the way down to implementation, is something that can be done today. So your data infrastructure, not data technology infrastructure, needs to come up to speed, especially now if you are going to be using AI. So deploying a data warehouse or data lake or data distribution center or data lakehouse or all those other things, once again, that's on the technology side. The question is, what are you putting into those things? And that takes a little bit different view. Unfortunately, most organizations are looking for miracles. All you got to do is what you're here. All you got to do is buy XYZ and you'll never have to work and think again, and you'll be all set on your data side. Let me repeat, you can't turn data sludge into a data swamp, into a data lake, into a data warehouse, into a data lakehouse, or whatever phrases that you want to use. It takes actual work. Data is made up of two simple phrases: the syntax, which is the structure, and the semantic, which is the meaning. And I have not seen anything on the horizon that could deal with the semantic side. Is this impossible? No. You know what we need to do is start today. As I joke about it, if you're sitting out in your yard and you want shade, a great idea would have been to plant a tree 25 years ago so you can get this shade now. Well, what's the next best day to plant the tree? Today. Same thing is true with your data strategy. Should have been doing this all along. Shame on you. That's not going to help. I don't blame anybody. I don't look behind me and say, geez. Let's move forward. What you want to do is to look at the 5 transformations that are required to understand business data in the context of your business area, transform that into a series of data relationships, transform that into a neutral data representation, transform that into a specific technology that you're using, and that's where all these things are coming in. Notice that's the 4th transformation I'm talking about. And then finally, the last transformation is into the specific technology you're using. Unfortunately, most organizations are skipping 1, 2, and 3, trying to go to 4 and 5. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been trying to do this for 50 years. Let's take a deep breath and begin with understanding the semantic, the understanding of the data from your business perspective, and then move forward. It'd be our pleasure to help you.
Thank you for tuning in to Real Talk. Be sure to join your host, Sam Holcman, again for another edition of our program. We'll have more real topics of discussion then.